Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
Morning, folks. Cool. December 6th, 2022. Hey, okay, things are working this morning, unlike yesterday. Yesterday was a complete blowout of the audio system. Oh, so glad you can make it to. I'm so glad you could make it here with us today, folks. Who we got in the house? Mr. Come on in, sit on down. We're going to walk them by one at a time. This is your Morning Magic Stocks and Fluff on my hat and Morning Magic Talks with your host, Brody. It's Tuesday. We got the dual brain shirt on. Goodbye, gloomy Tuesday. Who can hang a hat on you? We are going to have a good time this morning. It's time for the live stream with you folks here today. I'm super stoked to do the show. Who we got? Pure drive safe, mister. Drive safe to wherever. For the rest of you and the best of you viewers who love the fans, who love the game as much as I do, we're going to take a look at some charts here this morning. Little Morning Magic Stocks and Morning Magic Talks with Brody. Got a little bit of Christmas cheer on today.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
That's right. That's gotta have that worked out. You do really. Me and Homer, we definitely got that worked out. Uh, just gonna ease on into the morning here. How was your Monday? Monday came and went, and I'll tell you, it felt like a Monday. It really did. I had a tough time getting started. Engines were firing on only two out of 8 cylinders, if you would. But that's to be expected, folks. It happens. It happens from time and time again. It really does. It's fine. I appreciate you guys for checking it out. We're gonna check out the price of Hasbro stock here this morning. What are we looking at? We are coming in. Let's hit the refresh button and have ourselves a little sip of coffee. I find it funny. Can you hit the like button, please? Oh, please. Little Christmas cheer here. I'm glad you guys are with me. $63.24 for the Hasbro stock. It's up a little bit here today. Would you look at that? Just a little bump up in price here on this Tuesday, random Tuesday, December 6th. A little bump in price. Do you like price tracking? Do you like the the charts and all this? Do you like watching them go up and down? Does it mean anything to you? What does it mean to you?
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
Is it a lot to keep track of? If you don't like doing that, let me do it for you. I'm here every morning anyway. I look at these charts just to see what's happening and try and, keep the ear to the ground and let you know if you see anything that stands out. Let's take a look here. On the month, we're up 1.5 points. Hasbro stock is up a little bit today. It's good to see you. Everybody piling in here this morning. Gaming Bob's on the way to work. I heard you were the man to get with regarding shirts. It's possible. I made a few. We made a few shirts. Yeah, we we did. uh, hi. Let's yeah, let's take a look at some of that stuff. We got the unofficial dual brain shirts. It's Tuesday. I am currently wearing my dual brain shirt. Let's see if I can get a better view on for you folks tuning in. And like these, see, we had our very first giveaway here on the channel. We had our very first giveaway. Congratulations to the Earl of Drummer. He's taking home as our very first Patreon. He's taking home the classic Brody shirt and the one of a kind Magic 30 pin. That's the official Magic 30 pin. So, Earl's that's going out to Earl this week. It's going to make its way all the way over to merry old England. So, it's got a bit of a journey ahead of us. Brody's got to have his sleigh packed up to make that go. Yeah, we're doing we do the cartoons and is when you're cozied up by the fire this holiday season. You've got your slippers and your hot chocolate. There is nothing cooler to be wearing than your official, unofficial dual brain shirt, but you can only get that from Ed over at the Dual Brain channel because we will be. Santa's going to be visiting Ed this year and bringing some of these church and jice over there. Just a little bit of fun that we like to do here for everybody. A little bit as we can, try and get back to the community. The community. Microphone's working this morning. It wasn't yesterday, and I had to yell all the way across the room because the one that was picking me up was like a mile away. So that feels a little bit better this morning. I get to relax with you folks and just do the show. Pure MTG is in the house. We have viewers. If you don't mind, hit the like button. It really helps me out. Just if you're stopping in, please do it. I'm doing a little bit of a test here, and I don't usually. Okay, so the test is hit the like button. I think I'm getting like miscounted here. I'm not gonna say it, but I think there's like some miscounting going on. Like I'll be hanging out with you folks here. We'll be talking stocks, and then like there's like so many people in the room, right? And the chat's going, hey, cool. And then like after the stream, it's like YouTube puts out the numbers, and they're like not even close to the number of people you count in the room. So hit the like button. It lets the software know that you're watching. All right, let's check it out. Little morning magic stocks
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
with Brody. Let's see if we got any new news for the stock channel here. Any new articles, please? Oh, please. We need something from you folks, the writers at the news desk. Not a darn thing. We're going to keep our eyes on over here, see if anything is news worthy from these folks here. Nothing. Uh, can I close this? Hello. Let's get out of here. All right. All right. That brings us just like straight on over to the movers and the shakers list today, December 6th, 2022. It's a Tuesday, roomy Tuesday, random Tuesday here. I'm gonna top up my coffee just a little touch. Brody is pretty stoked to be here this morning. Christmas just around the bend. It's good. Hmm. Would you look at that? Stasis on the all list. Let's hit the refresh button just one more time just to make sure it's good and fresh. We don't want any stinky old magic, stinky movers and shakers. No way. All right, copy artifact. There we go. We dust off the all side here this morning. Copy artifact from beta. What did we have? We had stasis up there, but now it's sort of dropped back to the number 7 or 8 spot. All right, all right. Movers and the shakers list. Do you follow these lists? What does it mean? I don't know. Let's find out together. Come on, let's run this list. Copy artifact at the top of the list in the beta pile. We're gonna see what's going on with like Magic 30 cards hitting the market. We're gonna see when they come out and if it like moves the. We've been seeing a lot of collector's edition. Looks like there's a mock sapphire up here today. We're gonna check any new listings. Thanks a lot for joining me here this morning on a random Tuesday. Let's look at this copy artifact from the beta. Starting right up at the top of the pile. Up 16%, 16, 26. Worth noting, this is actually an enchantment card. It's kind of cool because it's blue. This art from Amy Weber here, it looks pretty great. Which one's the real artifact? The one on the left or the one on the right? Hard to say. One's a copy and it's got a little nose, little no ornate sort of a nose guy, a little statue. I like it. Who's buying this card? I don't know, but I would say I'll be picking this card up in the revised copies for some time. I've been fond of it just because it's been a target. Like out of the cards in revised, and for anybody who's new to Magic, out of the cards in revised, like this is one that is. Let's close this for us, folks. Yes, a little bit more screen here. Out of the cards in revised, this is one of the more powerful cards that actually saw a reprint. The other one was Wheel of Fortune, and then this one, the copy artifact. Pause Brown. Hey, there's pauses in the house, my man. Pause Brown. How you doing, buddy? It's Tuesday. Glad to have you here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us this morning. Pause. It's Tuesday. We're doing a little Magic Stocks and Magic Talks this morning. Pause. Yes, we got the pause. Pause man in the house. Thanks for joining. It's Tuesday. We're doing a little Magic Stocks and Magic Talks. We're looking at copy artifact this morning. If you're on your way to work or you're on your way to start your day, just want to say thank you for joining me and the friends of Magic the Gathering who love the game as much as I do. We're looking at these charts. We looked at the Hasbro chart here this morning. Pause. We checked that out, and just looking at the price of Hasbro stock, we're if you want a safe place, a smooth and relaxed place, stop by the channel. We'll be checking prices like this one on the copy, right? Like, ugh, I don't know if I'm buying that, but alternatives to some of these cards. We've got anybody new to Magic, we've got okay, so this 30th is starting to get show up here. Unlimited is kind of pricey, but the revised copy is the cheapest one. That's this one here. This is the one for it's $66. Yeah, I'm glad to have you here for a little bit, buddy. It's great if you're just starting your day and you're on your way wherever they may take you. Let's check it out. So we're looking at the copy artifact. I kind of want to see where collectible card. This is probably like this one and the Wheel of Fortune are probably, and the Dual Lands out of the revised set. These are probably like the hits, like the better cards, right? Copy Artifact, Doppelganger, Wheel of Fortune, Dual Lands. Sort of like the hits, and then like the rest of the stuff they didn't really reprint, eh? Like the Moxen and Gauntlet of Might and a bunch of stuff that never got reprinted and revised, but this one did. So it's still good. Is there anything better? Is there a better 2 mana copy artifact spell out there? I don't know if Wizards can. I don't know if they can make something cheaper. That's as good. It's going to be hard to say. The fact that it's only like one blue makes it pretty easy to cast. And the beta version here, if you ever find a black border copy, it's $2,244. Let's take a look at what decks are playing it. Urza Lord High, of course, the Artificer deck, right? Artificer deck is playing it. Tameshi, the Reality Architect. Let's look at one of these. And Niv Mizzet, Perun. Jin-Gitaxias, Progress Tyrant. Here's another deck. This deck is got to be nasty because this Jin-Gitaxias guy, like he's never. This is by Aeonic. This deck is a commander deck. Okay, whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. This ability triggers only once each turn whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell. Counter that spell. This ability triggers only once each turn. Wow. It's a pretty nasty card. Holy smokes. Artifact. Right? Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure there's anything cheaper than to copy Artifact, right? Like, is there anything cheaper than copy Artifact for one blue? Like, most stuff costs two, right? So, like, you'd probably find it in this deck with Brawl. This Jin Gitaxias seems really good as a commander. It seems really powerful. It copies everything on its own, and then when an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery, it's just countered. So you just get a U counters their spell trigger. That seems really good. I mean, a couple of it's mono blue, so yeah, the Phyrexian Metamorph, Thassa's Oracle, Spellseeker, the usual suspects. Treasure Cruise, all the blue stuff. Windfall. Here's a card, Time Twister, and the wheel cards. Hey, morning, DJ. Nice to see you. What's up, peeps? You betcha. It's Morning Magic Stocks and a little Magic Talks here this morning. I'm glad to have you with us. Me, Paz Brown, Twiddler's Magic, Bob, Game Bob's on his way to work this morning. Just checking in to check the price of Hasbro stock. It's up 1% here this morning, folks. It's coming in at a little bit of it's
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
coming in at 60. Hey, Homer, it's coming in at 63.24. It's up 80 cents. Hey, let's check it out. Glad to have you folks with you. Have you got your Christmas caps on? Are you home by the fire? You got your slippers on this holiday season? Nah, we're getting ready for work. We are. But I can't start my day without looking at these charts. Do you like looking at stock charts? No one does. But you can come here, hang out with the peeps over at the channel. We're going to run these lists and take a look at the movers and the shakers. Yeah, man. And we got friends in the house. So Tuesday, December 6th, morning magic stocks and a little bit of magic talks here this morning. Copy artifact right at the top of the list from beta. We're probably gonna grab our me and Pause are gonna pick up like a revised copy because it's a little bit more in the in the budget. Let's check it out. Chat is up. Ginger Taxes. Mr. DJ Longhair's in the house. Let's check out this card here. Mishra's Workshop. This is a card that always tends to see some Tom Mitchell. Hey Tom, how are you? Good to see you there this morning. Tom's getting in on some talks and stocks this morning. We're just running the all list there this morning. And Tom, we hit the copy artifact. We're hitting Mishra's workshop. I just want to talk about this card for a second, and I also want to talk about Urza's supercopter. I want to know, what do you guys think? Like, conveniently, this Urza's battle thopter is 3 mana. Like, like, you can cast it with shops. Is it good enough? Is that battle thopter that good? I don't know, but when I see this Mishra's Workshop that taps for 3 colorless mana, I can't help but think we want to be casting our battle thopter. So let's just see where that takes us. Oz Brown's in the house. We got folks, Pure MTG, DJ Longhair. Some of the viewers tuning in from around the world. Come here for Morning Magic Stocks. If you don't like to check the price charts, let me do it for you. It's something I'm doing every morning anyway. So if you want to check it out, let's look at this Urza's Battle Thopter. I'm gonna punch that in here. Urza's, what's the Thopter? What's the Urza's Thopter? What's that thing called? Urza's Battle Thopter. Yeah, Liberator is a battle thought. Okay, it's called Liberator. All right, let's do it that way. Wonder, yeah, this thing. Okay, so this thing, I wonder, like, this is what I think of right away. As soon as I see Mishra's Workshop, I think of this Thopter right now. This 3 mana Thopter, okay? So keep that in mind. This is where I'm going with it, right? Yeah. I wish I had a Mishra's Workshop. It's so expensive. I know it's crazy. Like, but like, look what we could do with it, right? It's like, this is why we're gonna see why it's so expensive. Thanks for stopping in, Tom. I appreciate you. So we're just looking at number 2 on the list here. This is the Mishra's Workshop, and like lately, I had this card's crept up to the top of the list again, but I can't help but think about this Battle Thopter that costs 3. So just like, let's look at where we're playing Mishra's Workshop, and then like, let's see if we are gonna see the Battle Thopter like sort of seeded into these decks here uh, later on down the road. So we got Prison Shops. The Battle Thopter, what does it do? Okay, so 3 mana. It's got flash, it's a 1/2, and you can cast colorless artifact spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. And whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana, so you can cast Lotus for 0 on flash speed on your opponent's turn. You can flash all your stuff in. So let's just imagine, instead of like playing this Prison Shops deck or this Paradoxical deck, I think the Paradoxical deck would be pretty cool because you could flash your artifacts in on your opponent's turn and then make them flying 4/4s with the Cyberdrive Awakener. But let's check it out. Like, they got a bunch of 0 drops in here. So all these artifacts you can flash in on your opponent's turn, right? Like, why play your Moxen or even your Pithy Needle? Like, so you can flash in your Moxen on your opponent's turn and then flash in a Pithy Needle. Like, you can flash in a Mana Source, right? Or any mana source is so you hit the workshop, flash in the Thopter. Now everything else has flash, and you can respond like with permanence in your opponent's turn, even on like their turn 1, right? It makes it viable. Like, you can do it. So I think this workshop, it gets even better with the Liberator Battle Thopter. I really think it does, especially in like this thought shop deck. I think it's really powerful. I don't know, the Voltron. Yeah, MTG. Let's go with Voltron, baby, colorless. Okay, yeah, right. Like, any deck that is playing this and allows it to just cast out. It's itself has flash, so that means like you're playing this shops deck. You're like, workshop, go. And then your opponent's like, okay, well, that doesn't seem so bad. Like, yeah, you must not have anything. And then you're like, they're like, okay, I do a thing, I do some stuff, and I play some permanents, I drop my, couple things on the battlefield, maybe resolve a spell back to you, and then you're like, flash in Liberator, drop my Moxen and my Pithing Needle, name your whatever permanent you just played, start my turn. Doesn't seem bad. Doesn't seem terrible. It seems like there are worse plays. Or, play my Chalice on. Can you get a mana source? Oh, you can play the Lotus if you had one. Manifold, any of the, okay, you can even drop yeah, Sol Ring and get two. So I think the workshop gets better with the printing of Liberator. Brings us to let's just run down here. Anybody want to take us a look at some modern cards here? Tempted to slot in that 3-drop. It's a nice card. I like it. I don't have it, but I'm gonna hunt it down. So we're just checking the movers and the shakers list.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
Helmut Chatsu coming up as number 3 on the list. Who's giving anything banding, really? Is it? I don't know. Banding until end of turn. It's an ability. If you guys don't mind, hit that like button so we get some views in here. I do appreciate you folks for turning on that like button. The smashy, the notification jingle bell. Smash the jingle bells and let the jingle bell rock. We're gonna be doing this here each day throughout the week. If you don't like checking these prices, does it look like too much to keep up to you? Does it any of it not make any sense? That's okay. Come join the discussion. Questions, comments, deck tech, and otherwise in the comment section below. We got the peoples in the house this morning who love the game of Magic, morning Magic stocks, and a little Magic talks. Let's run down the list here. We want to do. Want to keep running the modern list? Modern list. Anybody? Any takers on the modern list? Okay, Helmut Chatsuk. I don't. I don't know. What are we doing with that? It hasn't even moved. Why is it on the list? It's 0%. We're gonna skip it. Unless we got any, like, who's giving anything banding? Okay, where are we running the helmet? Another helmet card. 1 mana, tap it, you can get 50. Here's an anomaly here. Okay, let's talk about anomalies. This is a good example for anybody watching on this algorithmic price tracking software. $50,000 for the Helma Shetsuk. This has got to be a mistake. So this is a good outlier here to take a look at. Somebody, like, every once in a while, somebody will price a card and like they'll put it on whatever their website, a vendor shop site, and they like miss a zero, so or a decimal point. So let's take a look and see what some of these price listings look like, and like maybe somebody's made it. Yeah, here. So Cardmart Express. Here's the culprit right here. Cardmart Express has listed one for $99,000. And why? Why is it so much money? Why is it so much money? Cardmart. Yeah, it must be they must have meant to list it for $99, right? Sold by sold. One other listing as low as $99,000. So I'm willing to say they probably meant to list that at $999, maybe. But that's something that can happen when you're looking at these charts. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled this morning.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
Don't buy the helmet Chatsuk for $50,000. It's a price anomaly. It's showing up here on the list because somebody couldn't use their funny fingers, rubber fingers on the keyboard. Morning, Brain. It's Tuesday. Gloomy Tuesday. Who can get your name around you? You see the destruction video? Yeah, I saw the destruction video. The guy ripping the cards. I did. I saw it. I did. I hope you guys saw it. There's some classic stuff going on right now. It's awesome. For you folks for joining us, Dual Brains in the house. Really appreciate you. These will be going out. these will be going out to the heading on. Santa's going to be heading over to Dual Brain there this year. We're going to send these out hopefully this week or next week. I don't know if they'll make it to all the way across the planet before Christmas time, but we're going to try. Where was Homie at before the rip up vid? Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, let's keep going. We're just talking about a little bit of Magic stocks,
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
a little bit of Magic talks, and we're here. We're checking out the price list. Helmut Chatsuk. This is one of the things that like I'm glad we stopped on it because like it's like I don't want to talk about this card. It's not like very good or anything, but like I did notice we're like it hasn't moved. It's a 0%. So this is an outlier. This is just a good example of how like somebody can price a card, miss a decimal point, and it actually like throws off these charts. So if you look like right here, $99,976. I'm willing to say there should have been $999.76 because the 76 is in there twice and fumbly fingers, so then that gives you like a false price indication on this chart here, pushes it way up, and like people are like, oh my gosh, but that can happen when you're watching these charts. So you always got to kind of look and drill a little deeper to see if like it makes any sense. Give it some time, that'll probably get taken down or corrected, unless it's like some some actual thing, right? No, it can't be. It can't be. Keldon Warlord. That's a pretty cool card. I do like the Keldon, the Warlord, the Keldon Warlords. It's a great card. Let's see if we can move the chat up for anybody tuning in and catching the replay. Would like to have that up for you folks too. So let's try and do that here. Okay. Mr. DJ Longhair in the house. Glad to have you here. Pause and everybody for joining the chat. Thanks for hitting that like button, subscribe. It helps me know and it helps me grow, so we can keep on keeping on with you folks. I like this card. This card, like, look at the art on it. It's really cool. It's really a classic card, the Keldon Warlord. Let's look at it for a second. Mox and Collector's Edition. Oh, okay. $1,250. This is a real. See, this is the thing. Like, this is what people are like saying. You can get yourself a Collector's Edition Mox for $1,250, right? So, like, here's a playable Mox, $1,250. Vendor shop. Let's look. $1,000. Where else? It's funny, I don't see it here on Card Kingdom. Doesn't maybe they don't deal in those types of wares, but played in vintage. Maybe not this collector's edition. You could probably play an old school, but why would you ever uh buy anything different when you could get like a playable one like this for $1,200? So a little bit of price anchoring here. We can see the Moxin collector's edition, but this Keldon Warlord. This one's a cool card. Keldon Warlord, the Alpha Edition. Hmm. Also not tournament legal. No, it's not. It's only legal. You could play it in old school, depending on the format. No price guide. Do we have a price guide for Magic 30 yet? No. Price guide is up on TCG. We're gonna have to go there. Yes. Yeah, the collector's edition. Yeah, you can play them in Commander. Can you not? Where can we play the collector's edition? Mock Sapphire. So I guess what else we got here? Keldon Warlord. I like this guy. I do. The star. See this original one here. See on the bottom it says XX. This is like the alpha versions, and then later they went to like the star. Hey, Star. But this guy is like XX, which is equal to the number of non-wall creatures on your side, including the Warlord. If you have two other non-wall creatures, he's a 3/3, and if one of those creatures killed during combat, he becomes a 2/2. So he's like the original Warlord. Look at this art here. Kev Brockschmidt. Got to take a second look at that art there just for a second. It's pretty awesome. How you folks doing today? We're just doing a little bit of morning magic stocks. Anybody playing this card, the Keldon Warlord? I got no decks found using it.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
I don't know where we're gonna play it, but you could probably play it in like a deck that like see another card that was sort of like this guy. It was a Martin Stronghold, right? He was almost like these guys were like almost buddies, right? They're kind of bros, really. They're both 4 mana. They're both, I guess Martin's legendary, right? Until end of turn, and Martin remains a 1/1. So you want to double that up, throw the Martin Stromgald in there with the Keldon Warlord, and yeah, he doubles himself up. So that's pretty cool. Sending you a link to the Discord. Cool. Morning, Michael Superbacker. Morning, Michael. Glad to have you in the house this morning. Oh, breakfast time. Thanks for joining us. Let's check a little behind on the comments here. Looks like price guide. We're just going down the movers and the shakers list here this morning. We see a Mock Sapphire on the list. Kind of drummed up a little bit of conversation in the chat regarding pricing on Moxen, which is kind of nice. It means there's some interest in the card. Maybe a price guide coming out soon. We'll have to keep our eyes out for any of the price guide on any of these CE cards or the 30th cards. We're sort of waiting to see where those sort of land, and the Mock Sapphire from the collector's edition appearing up on the movers and the shakers list here this morning. Glad to have you folks in the house today. It is, if you got 13 folks watching here this morning, hit the like button for me, would you please? It lets the algorithm know that you're watching it. It really does, because tomorrow I'll look at the video. It'll tell me that 4 people were watching it. So I see you. I know you're there. Appreciate you guys for spending your time with me here this morning. We're gonna drum on a little bit past the hour. Roll through some Magic stocks, hanging out with my friends, the peoples, friends of Magic the Gathering, checking out the chat, checking out the channel, checking out the like, checking out the subscribe, checking out the Discord, and doing a little bit of chat about the prices in uh in the world of Magic the Gathering, and see what's got people interested, what sparks a little bit of conversation, maybe some deck tech here this morning if we get into it and we run the modern side. Chaos Orb. Oh, Brody wishes he had a Chaos Orb. But then once you get the Chaos Orb, then you're gonna have to like learn how to flip it. It's not like a skill. It's not like basketball. Like, does anybody sit at home like who doesn't own a Chaos Orb and like practice flipping it? It's like when I get one, I'm gonna practice it, right? I've been practicing my Chaos Orb flipping for years, just so the day that I get one, I'm ready to use it. No, Brody doesn't know how to flip a Chaos Orb. I've watched people do it. It looks complicated. You got to drop it, kind of flip it a little bit. Have I practiced it? No. I wonder if you knew you were getting one, would you practice? Here's the question for you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's read this card, okay? So Alpha Beta Unlimited had this card, and it's $1,200 for the unlimited version. And why is it so expensive? Well, I can't help but think it's because it's colorless, so you can put it in just about any deck. It only costs 2 mana, right? And with the Liberator, we can cast it at instant speed. Okay, that seems good. So it's 2 mana. It wasn't reprinted and revised. It's only printed in Alpha Beta Unlimited and then like some collector sets. and it's removal. Now it's got. Let's read the text on the card, and then like we'll discuss how maybe it's changed. So, pay 1, tap it. If Chaos Orb is on the battlefield, flip it onto the battlefield from a height of at least a foot. What? Yeah, you flip this card from the height of at least a foot. And then, like, when we first heard about this card, right? We were like, what is this card? Like, you flip it? So, another card. Okay, so let's get through the text here. If it turns over completely at least once during the flip, destroy all non token permanents it touches, then destroy Chaos Orb. So that's pretty cool. And like this used to work where when people would stack their permanents on the battlefield, you couldn't rearrange them once the Chaos Orb come out. Now what they've done is they've said you have to name a target and you can target one thing. So that's pretty much how it works nowadays. Another card like this, if you want to like throw cards around and spin and you like that interact like the physical interaction. I think they went away from like the less of a like a knockdowns. Anybody play knockdowns as a kid, with baseball cards? There's another card that sort of does the same thing. It's 139 bucks. So if you want to flip a card or you spin a card or you want to throw a card at another card, like this will kind of get you there. It's a little cheaper version. The sorcery from a reserve list. It's a Legends card and it says it says sort of the same thing here. Let's have a little sip of coffee this morning. And let's take a look at this card here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Okay, so if you want to flip the falling star, it'll cost you a red and 2. This one's sort of similar. Flip it on the play area from a height of at least a foot. It deals 3 damage to each creature it lands on. Tap all creatures dealt damage by it. And if it doesn't turn completely over at least once during the flip, it has no effect. So these two cards were sort of like the flippy cards back in the day. This one, it's pretty good removal. It can slot in any deck because of course, it's colorless. Let's see, where's it played? See, and this is another one we see spikes on it. Like, let's look at the chart here. Like right about there. Look at this spike. There's a big pokey thing right there. Spike. I don't know why. Maybe somebody sold one or listed one like we saw earlier with the Helmut Chatsik. An anomaly. It could be one sold. It could be one listed. Pause Brown, you heading out? Brody, I gotta head out. But much love. Keep staying positive. You betcha, Pause. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing life with me here this morning. Much love to you, brother. And happiness, safe adventures out there in the kingdom. We're running a little bit of magic stocks here this morning. Just taking a look at the Chaos Orb. Graded copies all the way up to 10,000 bucks for the unlimited version, and you can get it for $2,000 at the vendors. Okay, sounds pretty good. Running down the side here, Stasis. This Sarda was at the top of the list here, and then we give it a bit of a rearrange. I think we should run the modern side. Let's see what's going on over there. See if we spike some discussion. I really do want to have a little discussion. I want to hear from you, folks, in the comment section. What do you think about this card? Doubling season. Has this card seen enough reprints? Holy smokes, it's at $92. It's out. It's pushed the Mycosynth Golem, DJ Longhair's favorite card, off the top slot for the modern list. There's a card, it's like City of Guilds, Ravnica, 92 bucks. Is that a fact? Check this out. This card's seen a few reprints. It has. There's different art on it, and I got to put some different. I like is it the Battle Bond or the Double Masters one that we like? Oh, I mean, this one's pretty good. This one here. This was like the classic. I thought this was like the Modern Masters was like the best art. I thought it was, but maybe this other one is better. You tell me, which art do we like best on the doubling season? And has it seen enough reprints? Because we can find this card anywhere from double dollars. Holy, so hot fire if you open doubling season, and I'll see why. Like, it's legal in Modern, Legacy, Vintage, all across the board. You can play it in Commander, and what does it do? Why is it so good? If an effect would create one or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that much tokens instead. If an effect would put one or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many counters on that permanent instead. I don't think we need to say much else about this except what deck is running it. Yes, Commander for sure is going to be pushing this card up. It's a staple. It can be reprinted as many times as they want. People still want this card. You can't get enough copies of the doubling season. Double double.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
I'd be selling the doubling season, trading him in if I open those up. But I mean, you need one for Commander, Atraxa. So Commander list, you need one for Atraxa. You really do. I guess you could play it in Modern, but it's 5 mana, so it's a lot of a stretch to actually be a build around. Atraxa, the Praetor's Voice. This is the one flying vigilance, death touch, lifelinks at the beginning of your end step proliferate. Oh, golly. So you get to put a counter on everything and then doubling season does it again. OMG. This seems really good. Counters and infect. So yeah, you put the counter on the opponent for the infect and you double it up and you do it again and all kinds of fun things happen when you game. Game just get one right now. Pulled 2 out of the 3 doubling seasons. Good way to that. Oh, yes, a good hit, a very good card to hit. What's your favorite art on the doubling season? We want to know. There's all kinds of places to build this card. You can get it in Double Masters. It's 99 bucks. And see, look, mint copies from the vendors, right? 100 bucks. That's a $100 bill right there. Doubling season. Talk about reprint equity, folks. What else we got? The Mycosynth Golem, the Golem Boy, the 4/5 with affinity for artifacts. The artifacts. 19 people watching. Please hit the like button so that YouTube doesn't tell us there was 4 later on down the road. You count, you matter, and each and every one of yous counts and matters to me for watching. So thank you for giving me some of your time here this morning to check Magic Stocks
Buy low, sell high, that's my
and
motto.
Magic Talks. Let's do it. Let's run down this list. Sleep shift. All right. Mycosynth Golem. Do we need to? We've seen him here up here for 2 weeks. Like we have. He's been up there for like at least a couple of weeks, right? Man, this thing is it going to keep going higher? This is like it's $41. Has it started to drop back down again? That's what we want to know. Where? How? I think we were talking it could go as high as 80 bucks. That's what I put on the ceiling on it on last week. So let's take a look here. The Mycosys Golem, has it retraced a touch bit yet? No, I don't think so. I think it's still yeah, it did. A little here, let's take a look here. Let's just put the chart right there for you folks. Just so we can see the chart, right? We do want to see the chart here this morning, Brody. Let's put the chart up, right? There it is there. So like right here, the golem. It's seen like a little pullback and like it's ready to go again. I bet you we're gonna see this. We're gonna see this golem like keep moving. Like why not? I think it's good enough to keep going. It's played in Urza Lord High. It's played in a bunch of these decks here, right? With the Liberator too. Let's have a little sip of coffee and just admire this golem. Sit and bask in the greatness of the Mycosynth golem climbing the charts and has been doing so for at least 2 weeks. Doubly season dethroning the Mycosynth golem for the meantime, but we'll see. I bet you the golem takes another run. DJ wants a doubling season. Sell doubling season? Why not? I mean, I've sold that card. I don't know how many times. I opened it in double masters and I vendored it. I did, but it's still going up. Like I'm like this thing is gonna see a reprint. I just fear it's gonna get reprinted again and go down. But hey, I mean I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. This is just card discussion. This is by no make your own decisions here. But if you want to think critically, a little bit of critically, this is the place to do it. We can take a look at Magic. What is critically? I would say, yeah, like doubling season. I don't feel bad about sending it to the vendor because you can open it again. Looking at the Falling Star, did you say that's a good one? Yeah, Falling Star is collectible. I mean, let's see here. Make your own decisions. Like everybody, let's look at these cards critically. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm not saying you have to buy anything. I'm just saying pick what's good for you and don't spend more than you budgeted for. I always like to give like um alternatives for cards. Like sometimes there's an expensive version, but we can find a card that's like sort of does the same thing. So this Falling Star, I have a copy of it. I don't have a Chaos Orb, for the reason that it's so much money. So this one here, if you want to flip a card, like if that's something that is, you like that type of gameplay, this card is one of the few ones that do it. It's pretty collectible. It is essentially a reserve list card. And it's debatable whether that do. I think it's super collectible. 116 bucks, you know. Now where would we use it? I mean, do we have a use case? Is it as good as the Chaos Orb? I don't think so. It doesn't destroy the permanent. It taps a permanent. But like, it depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to flip a card, like this will get you there. It's fun. If you want to flip something and that's all you care about, and you don't want to flip the table over, flip this card rather than the Chaos Orb. It can tap creatures. It interesting interesting interaction in old school. It can tap creatures and clear a path for attacks. So like check it out. And you're like, why is that relevant? Shout out to shout out to Super Fast Tortoise this morning. So we're gonna put this card up. Giant Tortoise, okay? So today's shout out Super Fast Tortoise, because here's a giant tortoise. Now, this Falling Star in is legal in old school, and say so is the tortoise. The tortoise gets +0/3 while it's untapped, right? So it's a 1/4 while it's untapped. If you hit this with the Falling Star, it taps it and kills it, right? So that's an interesting interaction that people may miss in old school. So it's good enough to the Falling Star is good enough to deal with this giant tortoise, and anything that's like 3 toughness if you can hit it. So it's not too bad. I don't know if this one means you have to still name targets like the Chaos Orb, but it's a pretty collectible card. I like it. I don't think you'd be disappointed. Again, when people say like, "Oh, losing money," right? If you want to watch Magic card prices, like you want to the charts not make any sense to you, do these prices? You say, "Well, is that a good is that a good card? Is that a bad card? Should I buy this card? Should I sell this card?" Yeah, I mean, the reason we do this show is so we can look at these charts and see which cards are moving on them, and maybe try and come up with a reason why. If it's a reprint, or if it's a new set that's come out, or if there's some interesting tech that just came into the field. Uh, that can move prices. So or even like just a mistake in a listing. So like this is a good place to do it. If you don't like watching charts, you could come here. I'll do it for you. We'll have a little discussion on it, and maybe get some fun into them. Benson's here. Benson, Tower Shell is better. Yeah, Michael Synth has mentioned 2 days in a row. Gonna have to pick one up for Urza. Dominaria Remastered might showcase doubling season. Shoot, I should sell now, right? So like there's a thing, right? Like if doubling season is gonna get reprinted, like I mean, if you got extra copies, maybe like I would trade a doubling season in on a Falling Star for sure. Like the price is almost the same for an out of print reserve list rare from a reprintable commander staple. I mean, I make that trade. Murray Cooper in the house. We missed you. We missed you this last weekend pass. You were on the top of our minds, and hope you're staying warm out there and safe adventures in the world. Cavender's Souls is on the decline. Murray, glad to have you with us here this morning. Morning Magic
Buy low,
Stocks
sell high. That's my motto.
with Brody. We're talking buy low, sell high. Uh, checking the movers and the shakers list on the modern side here this morning. We got the friends in the house. Thank you everybody for stopping in. Scapeshift has made it onto the list here on the modern side. Maybe this is a build around card. Like people would play this with Valakut, right? There's another card that's like counts as a mountain. Cavern of Souls, yeah. Like, let's find the cards that are on the decline, right? Like, where's the tasty treats and the sweet eats and the good stuff? Like, if you got your eye on some cards, like, sit back and watch for the next couple of months. This is a place to do it. We can see what hits the list. The modern side tends to be a little more active because that's a super competitive format. But like on the vintage side, the old school side, and legacy side is where we're going to see some of these commander staples and these old format cards like legacy and vintage and old school cards that may be like dual lands, maybe uh decline in price where we could pick some of them up. But let's look at the scape shift card. Where are we playing this? 25 bucks. What version? Morning Tide. 4 mana for this 4-color Omnath, right? Oh, why not modern? So scape shift in modern Omnath. That's and then over here in Teamer Control and Titan Shift. That's where I would have expected it. Titan Shift. 5-0 with Titan, right? So this is the deck that plays it. It's a modern deck that's been around. It's got Primeval Titan, which is the giant. Let's find him here. Primeval Titan. He's 6/6. Run. This card is a boss. Is this is and then the scape shift is just lets you go and get lands. Yeah. Sacrifice any number of lands, search your library for that many lands, put them onto the battlefield top, then shuffle. So you get to pay for, sack a bunch of lands, and go get other lands. And then it runs this card here. So why is it so good? Because it runs this card right here. If you're new to the format and you're not sure how good the scape shift is and the works with this primeval titan, the Valakut, excuse me, the Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle says that it enters the battlefield tapped, and whenever a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, if you control at least 5 other mountains, you may have Valakut deal 3 damage to target creature or player. And it taps for a red. So the Scape Shift lets you search your library for just a bunch of mountains and Valakut or Valakuts and put them onto the battlefield. And then if you've got like 5 other mountains, of course, you're going to go get as many mountains as you can. This triggers multiple times, and then you just Valakut people in the face over and over again. Just so Gucci in an artifacts deck, right? Scape Shift in Ren and 6. Okay, let's take a look here. Do they have Ren and 6 on here? Yeah, okay, Ren and 6. Return target land from your graveyard to your hand, right? And then once you've sacked the land and got more, the Ren and 6 puts it back in your hand, and then you can you can discard them with his retrace ultimate if you're there already, but like this card does a lot. So you get a lot of looping effects with the Scape Shift and the Primeval Titan, the Valakut, and the Ren and 6. It creates value, and that's why this card is seen itself all the way up at the top of the pile here this morning on the movers and shakers list of the modern side. And if you ask me,
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
it makes good sense to see it up there. It's pretty modern staple. It's also played in Commander. Minamo School at Water's Edge is also seeing a little tick up in price too. I think we saw Minamo on the list there yesterday. Michael, you got the Ren and 6? You got the Ren and 6? You got the 6? Very nice, very nice. Hold on to the Ren and 6. Yeah, Escape Ship's a card that works well with it. If you are looking something to put together, that's a card. Keep your eye out for it. Works well with the Ren and 6. Minamo School at Water's Edge. Edging out little wins. Do you like Christmas music? Are you guys into a little Christmas music? I could put some on. I'll just throw it on in the background here. I'm super stoked because it's the holidays. It's like, yep, super stoked for the holidays. You guys got all your Christmas shopping done? I know I don't. I've got a bunch to do. I haven't checked that box, filled that square. But if you're crafting, if you like making crafts, you can make your own gifts. They save a couple bucks. They mean as much as something you bought from the store. Some people like to put their talents to work in the holidays, and it really shows. I can't wait to go to the weekend coming up. It might include a copy of the Minamo, the School at Water's Edge. No, probably not. I won't be buying any Minamos for Christmas. Ragavan, man, this card is so good. Hey, I'm just gonna check over the news desk for one more second to see if they published anything new for us to read here today. New movers and shakers, or not new movers and shakers. What are we doing over there? We're doing, yeah, we'll see. We'll keep a lookout for. Oh, Coach is in the house. Ragavan, hey. This Ragavan, I don't own a Ragavan, and seeing it up there for 72 bucks, I just can't help but uh, see the Ragavan up there. If you have a Double Masters Blightsteel Colossus, you could sell to Card Kingdom for 39 US and get a secret lair for a few bucks or a few more cards. Blightsteel, hey? Double Masters Blightsteel. Oh, I see what you're saying, Coach. So, like, you're almost getting, because the Blightsteel was added to a secret lair, you can almost get it from Card Kingdom for trade in. If you trade in their original one, your Darksteel, I guess, you can get it. You could just get the secret lair one for a couple more bucks. Interesting. Interesting. I haven't opened a Ragavan. It's expensive. It's good in a playset, and if you want to run four of it, it's pretty great. Um, it's a lot to buy into Ragavan. It really is. I'm not quite sold on it. I'd run things like Dragon Rage Channel, or I'd just play a different deck. I don't need it that bad. I'll wait for this thing to see a reprint or the price come down, but maybe it's not going to see that. I don't know. But I mean, I'll just be patient on this one. I'm not. He went and got himself banned in Legacy already, so like Ragavan's a little boostardo anyway. So at the best of times, little Ragavan. He's causing trouble, making treasure, getting himself banned. Murktide plays him. Yeah, modern, vintage. So he's gone straight to vintage. Yeah, let's see how long Ragavan makes waves in modern until what's going to be the next Ragavan? What's going to be the 3-3-1 Ragavan? Where do we go from here? A lot though for a recently printed Modern Horizons version. Psych Rift. So here's the Blightsteel that Coach is talking about. So Blightsteel Colossus, Mirrodin, that's where it's from. Trample Infect, just 11 for 12 mana. If it would be put into the grave, this I love this part on it, right? If it would be put into a graveyard from even think about putting this in the graveyard, oh, it just shuffles itself back in. But you can, I guess the buy list for this is 39 bucks. They'll give you 39 bucks for it, which you can, if you wanted to, you could just trade it in up a couple bucks more, get yourself a secret layer. Probably comes with a couple other cards. So that's the tip of the day from the coach. If that makes any sense to you folks, I think that's pretty interesting. People want to reprint, so probably in a few years, right? Let's see. Chat is lighting up. People really want to reprint, so probably when does Ragavan get that reprint? Yeah, right. Hard to know. When is Ragavan going to see a re? I don't know. Don't know. It's all speculation, but people speculate about just about anything to do with Magic cards. So yeah, the more people want the reprint for Ragavan, the less likely we are to get it. Right? Give us a reprint. No, we don't want these cards reprinted. You're getting them reprinted, right? Psych Rift, a card that makes waves all over the board Arcane Commander. And this Arkham Dagson, a card that we've been seeing sort of making its way up the list here for the last couple of weeks. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. I'm gonna my time is up. It really is. I'm gonna leave you folks with a couple of closing thoughts here before I take off here for the day. Wishing you folks peace, love, and happiness in your this week. Maybe start thinking about it. Thinking about doing some lunges just to get in shape. I think it would be a big step forward for me this holiday. I'm pretty afraid to pretty afraid to say that. So I can eat all the thanks or the Christmas goodies that are coming my way. Appreciate you folks for stopping in and spending a little bit of your time with me here this morning. Morning Magic Stocks and Magic Talks here with your host Brody.
Give me some ramen time.